Parklife is the 6th major expansion pack for City Skylines, released on May 24th, 2018. Just as the name suggests, the main focus of this DLC revolves around parks, giving for the first time a way for players to create customized recreational open areas that increase land value and leisure, as well as introducing other features that greatly boost tourism, turning your city into an international sensational hotspot. In this video, I'll tell you everything you need to know about these features. I'm Target, and this is my Parklife review and practical guide. I've listed every topic in the description of this video and provided timestamps in case you want to go directly to that particular topic. Let's start with the most hyped feature of this expansion: park areas. Park areas not only increase your city's happiness, the area's entertainment and land value, but also offer the chance for collecting ticket income, being a potential source of revenue for your city. Park areas can be leveled up, unlocking new leisure buildings as you reach higher levels. They can be as big and take whatever shape you want, meaning you can develop them to complex and buzzing entertainment venues or small filler parks. Remember that awkward space in between zone buildings that you just wish you could turn into a customized fitting area? Well, now you can turn them into a park that not only people will use, but also act as a real venue, raising the land value of the location. There are 4 types of park areas you can create: City Park, Nature Reserve, Zoo and Amusement Park. The City Park is your standard multi-purpose park. Not only do they look great in high-density areas, but because their assets are significantly smaller than the other park areas' assets, they are great as filler parks to put in tight empty areas between buildings. Nature Reserve is ideal to create outdoor resorts in mountains, valleys and lakes with dedicated assets such as the lookout towers, viewing decks and fishing cabins. The zoo brings the animal kingdom to your city, having a decent variety of animal enclosures you can put, such as the elephant, lion and flamingo enclosures. The amusement park allows you to create massive leisure areas that stand out from above your city due to the selection of big dedicated assets such as the Ferris wheel, roller coaster and drop tower ride. To create a park, you first need to define a park area. You can do this just like you define a district, using the park area tool provided in the districts tab. Park areas and districts are independent, which means you can draw a park on top of an existing district without losing the policies already applied to that district. This is great if you want to combine features of both elements, such as creating an amusement park in the middle of a commercial district with a leisure specialization, for example. To get all the benefits park areas have to offer, you need to place a main gate. Placing a main gate allows you to define the type of your park and enables level progression, visitor count and ticket income. The main gate also handles all necessary city service traffic coming from your road network, so park buildings inside your park area don't need a direct road connection. Park areas can also function without a main gate, benefiting from a small boost in happiness and land value, but they won't have access to these features and all buildings will then require a regular road access. Park buildings inside the park area only require path access, an extremely convenient feature that is complemented with the addition of 4 new different paths to the already existing cement pedestrian pathway. Main gates come in 2 different sizes for different sized parks. You can only place 1 main gate per park area, but you can use side gates to add extra entrances. Main gates will set fireworks every week at nighttime. Park areas start at level 1 as soon as you place the main gate and can go all the way up to level 5. They level up by having a certain amount of people visiting them, as well as reaching a certain entertainment value. Entertainment value is measured by the amount of park buildings inside your park area, and the higher it is, the more people will visit. Higher levels unlock more building props you can use to decorate your park with and reach even higher levels. In other words, the more attractive your park is, the more visitors it will get. Besides park buildings, Parklife also provides you with props. Props are decorative elements such as vending machines and signs that don't require road or path access and can be placed pretty much anywhere. People will not interact with them as they interact with normal parks, but they do add entertainment to your park area and allow for further customization. You can see how much park buildings and props contribute to an entertainment value by checking the information in purple in the built-in description. Old parks that were previously in the game are also updated with this feature, meaning you can use them to increase the entertainment value of your park area as well. Also, despite each park area type coming with its different selection of assets and paths, you can totally mix them up and create a park with its own unique style. It's all up to you. However, higher levels provide attractiveness bonuses to buildings that match the park area's type, so that's something to keep in mind. Another thing to keep in mind is that placing more than one of the same type of park building will reduce the entertainment value they give for each additional building, so it's a good idea to add different types of buildings, props, trees, rocks and vegetation. You are right, when placed inside park areas, trees, rocks and vegetation will provide entertainment. These are a cost-efficient way of boosting our park area's value as they don't have upkeep costs. There is, however, a limit for how much entertainment you can get from these, as well as another reason to be careful with trees on park areas that I will mention towards the end of the video. Since leveling is related to attractiveness, the bigger a park area is, the easier it is to get to level 5, simply because there is more room to place buildings that raise the entertainment value. It's unreasonable to expect small filler parks to get to max level. I've managed to get all 4 different types of park areas to level 5 by giving them a reasonable amount of room for expansion. Clicking on a park area's name opens its overview, where you can check useful stats such as the total number of visitors and entertainment required to reach the next level, park area maintenance status and policies. Income and expenses information can also be checked here, and you set ticket prices by adjusting the slider. The higher the price, the less people will visit, but the more money it will make per visitor. The overview window has a policy tab where you can set policies exclusively for that park area. More on that later. You can also access the stats and levels of all park areas in the city by clicking the new park area info view in the Views tab. Parklife also released several features to complement parks and tourism. One of them is a new city service, Tours. Tours are located in the transportation menu, and there are currently 3 types of tours: walking tours, sightseeing bus tours, and hot air balloon tours. You can make a tour just like you make a public transport line by placing stops along the way and finish by connecting back to the first point, making a circular line. While public transport is meant to carry people between home, work and shops, tours are meant for leisure, meaning you should place stops at points of interest such as parks or unique buildings. Walking tours are, just as the name suggests, pedestrian tours, which means they go on top of paths and sidewalks, ignoring traffic orientation. People will walk the defined paths to travel from stop to stop, and when going through park areas, they will contribute to visitor count. Walking tours are thus a great way of increasing the total number of visitors in new park areas to make them level up. Because people don't like to walk long distances, short walking routes are preferred. You can still make longer routes, but people might drop off anywhere in the middle of the tour. Sightseeing bus tours resort to double-decker buses to transport people around. They work very similar to regular bus lines, as you need to place the sightseeing bus depot to make tours. You can use the appropriate tool to select the stops and draw the route of the tour. Just like regular bus lines, sightseeing bus tour lines need to be circular and create a stop on the sidewalk of the roads where sightseeing buses will stop to pick up passengers. They can be used to help people reach distant or isolated locations, such as a new shopping district on the other corner of the city. Unlike walking tours, sightseeing bus tours generate income, meaning they can be a good source of revenue if explored correctly. The third and final type of tour introduced in Parklife is the hot air balloon tour. Unlike the walking and sightseeing bus tours, the hot air balloon tour doesn't require the setup of lines or routes. You simply place the hot air balloon building and balloons will automatically wander on top of your city. Pretty simple. Similarly to the previous types of tours, hot air balloon tours will work best when its building is placed in an area of interest, which leads us to the next point regarding tours, the appeal value of locations. In order to plan efficient tours, the appeal value of different areas must be considered. By clicking on a new tours info view, you will see a heat map of the most appealing places in the city. Unique buildings, landmarks, parks and plazas contribute to increase the appeal value, as well as do other natural characteristics of the terrain, such as trees, rocks or ruins. Notice how the river shores are significantly more appealing? Tours are most efficient when they have stops at points of interest, because the higher the appeal value, the more likely tourists and citizens will choose the tour in question over other attractions. The tour's info view also shows you how many people are using each type of tour, and clicking the magnifier icon will take you to the line's overview panel, where tours have been added and you can see how each individual route is performing. You can see the appeal value of individual lines and set ticket prices for sightseeing bus tours, as well as the number of vehicles. The second city service introduced in Parklife is park maintenance. The park maintenance building, located in the Parks and Plazas tab, sends out vehicles that will visit your city's parks and make them work more efficiently by giving a 20% boost to their happiness effect and radius. The great thing about this feature is that park maintenance vehicles will not only visit park areas but also standard ploppable parks, being a great way of increasing the overall city's happiness. There is also a new park maintenance info view located in the Views tab. Unboosted parks are shown in green. When visited by a park maintenance vehicle, they will turn purple, benefiting from that sweet 20% bonus in happiness effect and radius. This effect will slowly decrease as time goes by and will eventually subside. Park maintenance vehicles will continuously visit your parks across the city, boosting them when necessary. There is also a new city policy regarding park maintenance. Speaking of this, Parklife introduced 3 new city policies as well as 8 park area exclusive policies. City policies can be set to the entire city or to specific districts. They are Prefer Parks, Park Maintenance Boost, and Boost Connections. Prefer Parks will make tourists prefer parks rather than unique buildings and landmarks in the area, which is great for increasing your park area's total number of visitors. For a small fee, the Park Maintenance Boost policy will make park maintenance vehicles visit parks with twice the frequency, making sure they have the 20% happiness boost more often. Boost Connections increase the capacity of your city's external connections, allowing for more tourists to come into the city. Park area policies can be accessed in the park area's overview panel and they are exclusive to that specific park area, allowing for greater customization. Animal Ethics boosts the entertainment effect of zoo buildings by 20%. Advertisement campaign will draw 20% more visitors to your park area for a small fixed cost. Main Park will make tourists prefer the park area over other attractions in the city. Fine for Fireworks will disable fireworks that are launched in the main gate of the park area at night. On the other hand, Celebrate will make the main gate set fireworks every night instead of just every week. Night Tours draws 20% more visitors at night. Even More Fun boosts the entertainment effect of amusement park buildings by 20%. And finally, Recycle Garbage will decrease the generation of garbage in nature reserve buildings by 20%. Just like other expansions, Parklife comes with new unique buildings and maps. There are 6 new unique buildings added into the game, 1 for each level tab, and all of them grant useful bonuses for tourism. City Arc is a level 1 unique building. It can be placed on top of a road and increases the tourist capacity of all roads by 5%. Clock Tower is a level 2 unique building. This Big Ben look-alike will increase the speed of your trains by 20%. The level 3 unique building is the Old Market Street. Placing this gigantic rectangular asset will increase the tax income of nearby commercial zones by 5%, making it a great addition to your shopping districts. At level 4 we have the Sea Fortress, which must be placed on the shoreline. It will increase the ship and airport tourist capacity by 5%. The Observation Tower is the level 5 unique building. Placing it will increase the happiness effect radius of all parks and plazas by 10%. And finally, as the level 6 unique building, the statue of Colossalus can be placed on shoreline to increase the time tourists spend in your city by 20%. Placing all these unique buildings in your city will unlock a new monument, the Castle of Lord Sherpwick. This landmark will increase the attractiveness of all unique buildings by a whopping 25%. Finally, there's 5 new maps you can start the city in. These are Mountain Meadows, Pine Rivers, Windfield, Cavern Coast, and Honu Highland. I cannot end this review before speaking about a feature that has been asked for years, which is the ability for trees to reduce noise pollution. The developers have heard us, and besides being great decorative elements, trees now have a logical purpose as you can use them to effectively separate your residential areas from busy commercial blocks or metro stations. Be careful with trees in park areas though, they might hide entertainment value, but if you have the Natural Disasters DLC, fires will quickly spread between trees and buildings. In my experience, I haven't been able to make my fire trucks reach park area buildings because they don't have road access and fire helicopters only extinguish fires on trees. Because of this, every time a park area building catches fire, the only option is to let it burn, have the helicopters from the disaster response unit search for survivors, so I can then rebuild it manually. This can be extremely annoying if you have a lot of buildings in your park areas, and I wish the developers had given this more thought. Let me know if you found a work around this. If you buy Parklife Plus, for a slightly increased price, you have access to the country radio station to listen to while playing the game. Here's a sample of the kind of music you can expect that will hopefully help you decide whether this feature is worth the additional cost.
my dreams I put on hold, then I met you. You got me sober, you.
This is Country Road Radio, where the dress code is boots, spurs, and some kind of pants.
The visuals that were rolling in a screen while the country radio station was playing were created with a new cinematic camera, which randomly follows people and cars in your city for brief periods of time before switching to the next shot. It's a nice addition, but besides having no control over what's recorded whatsoever, the sudden visual shifts when the person is falling changes direction can make you dizzy. Personally, I'll stick to modern camera versions to record my game cinematics. Other extra features include the addition of new terrain props such as trees, vegetation and rocks that you can use to decorate your city. Remember that these elements add entertainment value when placed inside park areas. There's also new visual models for vehicles, animals and pedestrians, which serve no game purpose other than aesthetics. Finally, Parklife provides some tools for modders and asset creators. The asset editor now has a submesh option, allowing for a specific asset to change its appearance during the game. Notable examples of already existing buildings with this feature are landfills, which look different when they are full than when they are empty. There's also new scripting and data APIs. I'm not an experienced asset creator or modder, so I'm probably not the best person to review these features, but I will put some informational links in the video description that you can refer to if interested. And that's it for my Parklife review. I hope it has been informative as well as enjoyable to watch. Did I forget to mention anything important? Please let me know. I would love to know about your Parklife experience in the comments below. You can also follow my Let's Play series and watch me play in my own city. I hope to see you again soon for more City Skylines videos. Until then, have fun!